Good morning, students. Good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. And those who got vaccinated, are you all well? Yeah, good morning. Okay, I've joined. Let us just wait for a few seconds and then we'll start. Yeah, I've been checking your internal answer scripts, internal test answer scripts. I'm not at all satisfied with the answers or the performance. Like many of you've just given, I told you, even before the test, I had given instructions saying that you should not give one or two line answers, even though those two line sentences are exactly uh, answering the question, but it is not sufficient. I had told you, but since still many of you, like you have answered in one or two or three sentences, that is not acceptable in professional course. Even if it is not specified in the question that you have to write circuit diagram, explain with the derivation and all, you have to do it. In professional course, it is expected. Okay, you cannot write answers in two or three sentences. Please keep that in mind and start practicing now itself. Okay, 51 have joined, 10 more to join. I think I'll start the class. Can you again explain the movement of charge? Yes, sure. Yeah. We will have this recap. Okay. So we'll start our session, lecture 27. So in this lecture, you will, by the end of this class, you will be able to define what is current gain and voltage gain, and you will be able to draw the schematic for the BJT as amplifier, and described what is voltage amplification and describe how BJT is used as a voltage amplifier. Okay, so since we know that BJTs are mainly used as amplifiers, that is its main application is it is used as amplifier, right? The other devices what we came across, JFET or MOSFET, typically they're used as switches, right? So whereas BJT, it is used in circuit where you need amplification. Okay. So quick recap. Let's go through what we discussed there. So we came to know that there are two types of BJTs, NPN type and PNP. That is, if a P-type material is sandwiched between two N-type material, then it is a NPN transistor. If N-type material is sandwiched between two P-type material, then it is a PNP transistor, right? And we saw that the center part, that is the base part, which is a very thin layer, all right, and it is lightly doped. So in NPN transistor or PNP transistor, the center part, the base part, what we call it as. So in construction, in terms of construction, this is a very thin layer, all right, thin layer, and it is lightly doped. Okay. Whereas the emitter and the collector, all right, they are heavily doped. Okay, where emitter is comparatively more heavily doped than the collector. Okay, and if you observe the width or the dimension, the collector width will be more compared to the emitter. All right. So that is about the construction part. And we had discussed how the biasing of the transistor has to be done. And we saw that the transistor, the BJTs, typically they work in three regions, right? Active region, cutoff region, and saturation region. So cutoff region means where there is no output at all. That means the device is said to be in off condition. Right? If we say that the device is operating in a saturation region or saturation mode, then it is like there is current, there is full output current, and the device is operating in on condition. All right. Whereas if the device is made to active, made to be working in active region or active mode, then typically it is for amplification process. Okay. So if we want the device, the BJT, to be performing as amplifier, then we have to design the circuit in such a way that the device will be operating in active mode or active region. All right. So let us understand what do they mean and all. So typically the operation, as I had discussed in the previous class, so the biasing will be done in this way. Observe here, this is your emitter part, this is your collector, and this is your base. All right, there will be three terminals. There will be three terminals to three regions of the transistor. So the terminal towards this region is called emitter. The center terminal is called base. And to this region, all right, that is called, can we use this? De-amplification. Preferably the BJTs will be used for amplification process, but there is possibility where you can control the amplification. Okay, you will understand better as we move forward in the discussion today. Like we can control the amplification, whether the amplification should be, say, for small amount or further amplified version. So that can be controlled by the gain, right? We will discuss that. So when we are biasing, this is the way we bias the different terminals. All right, the emitter terminal, the base terminal, and the collector terminal. And if you recall, I had told the collector terminal will be always connected to the positive of the supply. All right. So making the electrons, which are the majority charged carriers in the n-type, to move towards the collector. All right. So observe here what happens. So as I said, emitter is highly doped compared to collector as well. Okay. Emitter is highly doped means the concentration of electrons, the majority charge carriers in the emitter will be more. All right. So they get accelerated towards this terminal, which is connected to the positive supply of the battery. All right. So the electrons try to move. All right. But before, say, biasing, say if at all there was no biasing, what would have happened? This is n-type material, this is p-type material, and this is n-type material. There is two junctions formed there. And we know that whenever the two n and p-type materials are brought together, there will be junction formed and there will be depletion region, right? At this point, you should be already familiar now what is depletion region and what is the barrier potential there, right? So in order to overcome this depletion region and the barrier potential, say if we connect this p-type material to a positive terminal of the battery, say if we provide some positive voltage to this p-type material, then observe here, P is connected to the positive terminal and this emitter terminal is connected to negative of the battery, then it is a forward bias condition. So in forward bias condition, the resistance at this junction will be very less, which means that the charges can freely move, right? So when there is positive potential at this terminal, the collector terminal, the majority charge carriers electrons from this region, they get accelerated and move towards this terminal. They tend to move, right? And because of this forward bias condition, there is no depletion region, and the electrons can easily move into P region. All right. Remember, P region is, the base region is a thin layer, all right, very thin layer, and it is lightly doped. So before the electrons are entered here, they already are into the collector region. Though this junction is reverse bias, okay, the positive terminal here will accelerate the electrons to overcome this reverse bias condition, and there is a current flow. Okay, so there are three currents flowing in this three terminals. Observe that. One is the electrons moving from the emitter region towards this, which will be causing or constituting the emitter current. So electrons are moving in this direction, means the emitter current is in the opposite direction as indicated here. Okay. So now when the electrons move into P region, a small amount of electrons recombine with the small concentration of holes in the P region, and they get attracted to this positive terminal of the battery. Okay, so small amount of electrons move outside here, constituting the base current. A very small base current will be there as indicated here. Okay, now the accelerated electrons, they are moving towards the collector terminal, and they move outside the circuit here. So at the collector again, you will have collector current. All right. So there will be emitter current, base current, and collector current as indicated. All right. So similarly in PNP transistors as well. Okay. In PNP, we know that the majority charge carriers in P-type materials are holes. All right. So the collector terminal here obviously has to be connected to the negative terminal of the battery, right? In order to make the majority charge carriers to flow in the circuit here. All right. So this collector terminal will be connected to negative of the battery. All right. So, and N-type material, the base terminal will be connected to negative here, causing this junction to be forward biased. So one point has to be clearly understood here. Always the transistor, there are two junctions, right? This junction is called emitter base junction, and this junction is called base collector junction or collector base junction. All right. So the emitter base junction should be always forward biased, and the base collector junction should be always reverse biased. All right. So when you do that, there will be, you are making the device to conduct, or there will be flow of current. Okay. So in a similar way, as I explained in the previous case, opposite charge carriers here, the holes will be moving. So observe here, when from the emitter, the holes are moving in this direction, the emitter current direction will be same, right? So small amount of holes, they get attracted to this negative terminal of the battery here, all right, constituting the small base current and the collector current as well. All right. So this is typically the biasing part of the transistor. As you can observe here, as I mentioned, the emitter base junction should be always forward biased, and the base collector junction should be always reverse biased. So if you connect, say this is VCC, and if you take this supply as VBB, okay, if you bias in this way, biasing is nothing but what? Connecting the external power supply to the terminals, right? So VBB, if you connect like this via, say, RB, this is your base terminal, this is your emitter terminal, and this is your collector terminal. And observe here, the base emitter terminal is forward biased, right? The base terminal, it is connected to positive terminal, and emitter terminal is connected to negative, right? And here collector terminal, observe here, it is connected to positive of the battery, and emitter again is connected to the negative. So causing this collector base terminal to be reverse biased and base emitter terminal to be forward biased. So this is for NPN transistor and PNP transistor. I hope it is clearly visible and understood. So the voltage across this base and emitter, we generally call it as VBE. And the voltage across collector and emitter will be VCE. All right. And the voltage across collector and base, we term it as VCB. Typically, for both NPN, PNP is shown here. Though there is no naming of this supply voltages, generally we term this as VCC and this should be VBB. Are you all with me at this point? Should I proceed? I hope the recap is sufficient. You are with me? Should I proceed?
Once, ma'am, like we are trying a circuit right now.
Okay. Yeah, sure. That is the biasing. Yeah, biasing of the transistor.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Let's move on. So typically in electronic circuits, okay, all circuits will have two ports forming four terminals. Okay. Say if you have a circuit here, at the input you have two terminals which we call it as input port, and at the output we have two terminals which we call it as output port. Okay. But we know that the BJT is a three-terminal device, right? So in order to make use of three-terminal device, comfortable and convenient for the typical electronic circuits which are of four-terminal network, okay, what we do, we always take one terminal as a common terminal. All right. So giving three configurations of the transistor. So this is common base configuration, as you can see. All right. Both the example for NPN type and PNP type both are shown here, where the base will be common to both input port and the output port. Okay. So the base terminal will be common. So that's why common base configuration. So this port or this connection will be for input and this connection will be for output. Okay. I hope you are getting that. So common base terminal, okay, taking one terminal as common. So in this configuration, the input current will be the emitter current, the output current will be the collector current, input voltage will be VBE, and the output voltage will be VCB. Okay, I hope you are able to get that from the circuit here. Okay, input voltage will be VBE and the output voltage will be VCB. Since you can, I hope you are able to identify the terminals there, emitter, collector, and base. This is common base configuration. All right. This is just for your information, which will help you to understand the other circuits. All right. This is common collector configuration. As the name indicates, common collector. So if you arrange the circuit like this or the device like this with the biasing, so taking collector as the common terminal for both input and the output part. All right. So the configuration or the arrangement will be like this, where base will be in this direction, collector terminal will be common to both the input and the output. So here identify that the input current will be the base current, the output current will be emitter current, the input voltage will be VBC, and the output voltage will be VEC. I hope you are able to identify that. This is NPN transistor and this is for PNP transistor. Are you able to get that? different configurations. You need not take down that. It will take more time. Anyway, I will share the slides. You just understand the things. Understand different terms there, input current and output current. I want you to concentrate on that. Are you with me?
Ma'am, what would be the input?
Input current is base current. Output current will be emitter current in common collector configuration. So based on the configuration, your parameters also will vary. Observe that. All right. This is for common base. Common base, if base is common to the input and output, input current will be emitter current, output current will be collector current for common base. Observe that. And input voltage will be VBE and output voltage will be VCB. I tell you why am I giving you all these input current and output current, because when we talk about gain, it is nothing but whether it is current gain or voltage gain, it is nothing but output versus input, right? So that is what I'm trying to bring you to that stage, right? So in common collector, observe this configuration. Input current will be base current, output current will be emitter current, input voltage will be VBC, the voltage across base and collector, and output voltage will be VEC. Getting it? All right. Common emitter configuration. This is most popular configuration and widely used, and this is the configuration used for amplification. Observe that common emitter configuration. So the orientation of the device will be in this way, where you take emitter as common terminal to both input and output ports. Okay, so emitter will be the common terminal to input port and output port. The arrangement will be in this way. This is for NPN transistor and this is for PNP transistor. And observe the parameters there. What is the input current? Can you tell me here? For common emitter configuration, what is input current? Base current. You can observe here. Input current is base current. Output current is collector current. Input voltage is VBE. Output voltage is VCE. Now, coming to the part, what is current gain? What is current gain? Can anyone define current gain? What is current gain? How do you define current gain? Current gain. Gain means what? It is output by input, right? So I'm talking about current gain. So it is the ratio of output current to input current, isn't it? Output current by input current. Now, the current gain in common emitter configuration. Can anyone give me the current gain here? How can we define current gain for common emitter?
That is IB by IC.
Output current by input current.
IC by IB.
Yeah, IC by IE. Sorry, IB. One second. One second. Okay, where was I? Sorry, I got a call. Yeah, Jane. Yeah, slightly you're ahead. Okay, let's come there, come to that point. Okay, so no problem, Ashwija. So output current by input current is your current gain. So output current for common emitter, output current is what? Collector current. And what is input current? Base current. So the ratio of IC by IB will be your current gain for common emitter configuration. Observe the configuration also there. All right. So I hope you are able to understand that for different configuration, the current gain and voltage gain also will vary, right? That's why the reason why I I was highlighting the input current and output, input current, output current, input voltage, output voltage for all different 3 configurations. Okay, so coming back to this common emitter configuration, here this is the widely used configuration, and it is used for amplification, because the amplification process in common emitter is better or larger compared to other 2 configurations. Okay, so common emitter is mostly used for amplification process. So if at all you are using BJT, the transistors for amplification process, then it will be, the BJTs will be used in common emitter configuration. Okay, so there the input current will be the base current, output current will be collector current, input voltage will be VBE, that is voltage across base and emitter, and the output voltage will be VCE, that is voltage across collector and emitter. Okay, now the voltage gain is nothing but the ratio of output voltage to input voltage, which is nothing but VCE and VBE. All right, so let's understand all these points. Okay, so that should make you familiar with the transistor currents here. You should be familiar with transistor currents and their direction and the way it is flowing for NPN and PNP. All right, how to bias the transistor, and when you bias, how will be the direction of the current, should be very much familiar. Now observe this. This is NPN transistor. So as I mentioned, the emitter current will be going outside. So the NPN transistor arrow mark will be pointing or pointing outside the terminals there. So this is emitter, collector, and base terminal. In PNP transistor, the direction of the emitter current will be inside, towards. Okay, so the arrow mark also will be pointing inside the device like this. So that should be helpful to understand the direction of the currents. Please note down this, it is very important. And if you observe, for both the transistors, can we write emitter current is equal to collector current plus base current for both the case, if we apply KCL? Yeah, right? If you apply KCL to both the transistor, observe here. So IE, the emitter current, is equal to IB plus IC. All right. Now, since the IE, the emitter current, crosses to the collector, the whole of the emitter current will cross towards the collector, but there will be small amount of base current, isn't it? All right, so that we can write it as the collector current, wherein the emitter current which move towards the collector current, the total collector current, it depends on the emitter current. Okay, and it depends on some gain, right? Some amount of gain, and that times of emitter current will be equal to IC. So what I'm trying to say here is the term alpha DC. So alpha DC, it is defined as the emitter to collector current gain. Or in other ways, it should be, it is the ratio of collector current to emitter current. So IC is equal to alpha times IE. That is one way of saying. Or if you want to define alpha DC, it is a gain actually. Alpha, it is nothing but it is the ratio of collector current to emitter current. Please note down. Please note down. We are discussing important points here. So alpha DC is nothing but it is defined as emitter to collector current gain. Emitter to collector current gain. I hope you're with me. Now, recall that the collector to base junction is reverse bias, right? So we know that in reverse bias condition, there will be small reverse current, reverse saturation current, right? If you recall the PN junction and its discussion, even in the reverse bias condition, because of the minority charge carriers, there will be small reverse current, right? We call that as reverse saturation current, ICBO. All right. So this ICBO is, yes, due to minority charge carriers, correct. So this ICBO is called as collector to base leakage current. So from this, we can write the total collector current, what we talk about as the output current. Okay, it is nothing but alpha times IE plus ICBO. Can we write like that? This ICBO is nothing but the small leakage current because of the reverse saturation current there. All right. And just now we defined the alpha term, which is ratio of IC and IE. All right. So IC, we can write it as alpha times IE plus ICBO. Can we write like that? The total collector current, it is equal to alpha times IE plus the leakage current ICBO. So this is again an important expression. Please note down. The total collector current IC, it is equal to alpha IE plus ICBO. This is another second term what we have to recall and remember in transistors. Next is another current gain, okay, wherein it is the ratio of collector current to base current. All right. So it is termed as beta or beta DC. All right. Beta is nothing but it is the ratio of, it is defined as the base to collector current gain. Beta is defined as base to collector current gain. So it is ratio of collector current to base current. And what is our collector current in common emitter configuration? Collector current is nothing but the output current, isn't it? And base current is the input current. Are you with me? Yeah. So beta, it is defined as base to collector current gain. It is given by the ratio of collector current to base current. Typically, the value of beta will be ranging from 25 to 300. So the manufacturer will give you this value, alpha and beta, in the data sheets, from which you will understand what is the current gain of the particular device, what you are using. So based on this, you will know what is the current gain of the particular device. All right. Why only 25 to 300? If it is less, we'll see. If it is less, what happens? Yeah, we'll see. It is current gain, right? All right. You will understand as we solve some example problems there. If it is less, how does it affect? Okay. Can you take this problem? Try to solve this. Try if you can solve this. Determine base current, collector current, emitter current, VBE, VCE, and VCB in the circuit. And it is given that the beta of this particular transistor is 150. How is the transistor used here? What is the configuration of the transistor? In which configuration is this transistor used here? Can you identify? Okay, what
Common emitter.
Common emitter. Which type of transistor is this?
PNP.
Is it PNP?
NPN.
NPN, correct. I will go back to the here. Observe this. Is it PNP or NPN? The one in the circuit which we saw there. Identify, that is very important. You should identify the symbols as well. Only then you will be able to understand the terms, different terms that has to be used. This is NPN type of transistor. The arrow direction is outside. In PNP, it will be inside. The direction of the arrow will be inside. Now, to determine base current, collector current, emitter current, how can we proceed? Any idea? First, understand the question. KCL, Jane, whether it is KCL or KVL? KVL, right? Yeah, we have to apply KVL to input and output port, correct. Apply KVL to input and output, you will be able to get these terms, all right, VCE. What about base current, collector current, and emitter current? Any idea here? With the beta given there. First, let us see, let's find out some hints there, then we will solve. First, understand the question. Now, some parameters are given in the circuit here. VBB is given, VCC is given, there is series resistance, beta formula is given. You know the beta formula. What is the formula there? Beta is equal to IC by IB, correct? IC by IB. So beta is given. So say if you find any one of the terminal, point parameter, you can find the other, right? Beta is known. Say if you know IC, you can find IB, or if you know IB, you can find IC, isn't it? So from that, you'll be able to identify what is that 0.1. What is 0.1? Okay, first find, if we apply KVL, what is the parameter we can find here? Can anyone tell me? If we apply KVL, okay. If we apply KVL to this input loop, which parameter can we find? IB, exactly correct. Very good. Yeah, that you should be able to identify. Okay, very good. Yeah, I got the answer. See here, VBB is given, all right. RB is given, correct. And you will be knowing what is this VBE. Can anyone tell me what is VBE? What should be VBE? The voltage across base and emitter.
5 volts.
5 volts, huh? How is it? What is this voltage across base and emitter? Recall the biasing there. Recall the biasing. The voltage across this VBE. No, it is not input. Please pay attention here. Recall the working there, the explanation. If you recall this circuit, okay. Where is our VBE? Can anyone tell me? Across this point, right? Can you get there? The voltage across base and emitter. So it should be this point. And observe the biasing part there. This is the network like what you can see here. Circuit. All right. VBB, the biasing part what I showed just now. But what about this? Voltage across VBE. Recall the junctions, that the two junctions, emitter base junction and collector base junctions, where are they? Can you identify here? So in between base and emitter terminal is your emitter base junction, isn't it? And between collector and base terminal is your base collector junction. Now, in order to make this device conduct, you have to forward bias emitter based junction and reverse bias collector based junction. So in order to make forward bias and make this device conduct, what should be the voltage that should be applied so that the device is conducting, or there is free flow of charges in simple way to say. When you forward bias base emitter junction, there is free flow of charges. Now, since it is NPN transistor, the electron should freely move. Okay, what should be the voltage that should be applied here between emitter and base so that electrons can freely move from this junction towards the collector? 0. Let me go back. I'm talking about this junction. I'm talking about this junction. This junction, you have to forward bias, right? So to forward bias, please wait, understand. No, you're wrong. Please wait. In order to make this junction forward bias and allow the charges to flow freely, what should be the potential that should cross in order to make these electrons move freely from this junction? Yes, what is that barrier potential? It should be 0.7 volts for silicon type. Are you all with me? Yes. Some of you got the answer. So, only when you cross that barrier potential is what? There is already, if there was no biasing, there was depletion region. Because of depletion region, there would be barrier potential. In order to remove the barrier potential or the depletion region, you have to apply voltage that will cross the barrier potential. So for silicon type, it is 0.7 volts, and for germanium, it is 0.3 volts. So that is the voltage required to overcome, to remove that barrier potential. So that's why we say it has barrier potential or the cutting voltage, right? So for silicon type, it should be 0.7 volts that should be applied for this junction, okay, in this circuit. So across VBE, 0.7 forward bias condition, right? For forward bias junction, VBE, 0.7 volts should be applied. Typically, if you take it as a silicon type of transistor. All right. So VBE will be 0.7. Now you know this. You know VBB, you know RB given here, and you know VBE in this loop. If you apply KVL, from the KVL, you will get IB. So IB-RB will be the drop across this resistor, right? So IB, from applying KVL here, you will get, please take down this. So IB will be VBB minus VBE by RB. If you go back here, VBB minus VBE by RB. That will be your IB. So when you get IB, you have beta, so that will be easy to calculate IC. So when you know IB and IC, right, we know the typical expression for emitter current. We saw emitter current is equal to IC plus IB, right? So substitute there you will get IE. Are you all with me? You have to follow, all right? You have to understand things and follow. Now to find VCE, apply KVL to this outer loop. VCC minus ICRC. VCE will be equal to VCC minus ICRC. Again, that is KVL there. You should know to apply KVL now. And VCB, the voltage across collector and base, it is given by VCE minus VB. Taking emitter common there. VCE minus VB. Calculation part you can do later. First understand the terms there, how to use that expression. Are you all with me? So this part, initial part, is where you will get stuck. If you are familiar with this, you can proceed with the further steps. But you should know how to apply VBE, how to apply KVL, and find the different parameters. And that is what I observed even in the answer scripts. Many of you, like, you're not still familiar with KVL. Please, you have to do extra homework to understand and learn things. Are you with me? Can I proceed? Any doubt at this stage? Are you all with me? Okay. Are you all with me? Any doubt? Can I proceed? Okay. Now, quickly we'll move on to the transistor. BJT as an amplifier. Okay. So as I said, current amplification or current gain is given by the output current by the input current, right? So common emitter configuration will be generally used for amplification process, all right? So because in common emitter configuration, we will have a better or larger output current compared to other two configurations. Now, what is amplification? It is nothing but increasing the strength or the magnitude or the amplitude of the signal, right? So whatever you apply at the input, if that signal is magnified, amplified, or strengthened at the output, then we say it is amplification, all right? So this is the basic transistor amplifier circuit, all right? Quickly you can take down, or if you want me to complete the explanation, I will do this. So the circuit is shown here. This is the basic transistor amplifier circuit where you have the input at this stage. VBB is for biasing, and VS is nothing but providing your input voltage there, all right? And the voltage across VBE, which is termed as VB, is your input voltage. And at the output, what you get from this configuration is your collector current, and the voltage across collector and emitter will be your output voltage, VCE. Okay, and VCC is for biasing again. What you know, where you bias the base collector junction in the reverse bias condition, that is provided by this VCC, and base emitter junction will be forward bias, so that is provided by this VBB. So that biasing part and all you should be knowing, all right? So since we know the definition of the current gain, what is current gain? The output current by input current, right? So output current is IC, the collector current, and input current will be the base current in this configuration. So voltage gain is nothing but output voltage by input voltage. It is the ratio of output voltage to input voltage. What is our output voltage? VCE. And what is the input voltage? It is VBE. All right. So observe here. If we consider the internal resistance of the emitter, the internal resistance at the emitter base junction, if it is given by RE dash, all right? If that is RE, so RE dash, so we know that when this junction, that is emitter base junction, which is forward biased, we know that when it is forward biased, there is free flow of charges happening, which means that the resistance will be very low, right? So the input resistance will be very less. So taking that as internal resistance at the emitter, taking that to be RE dash. So the AC emitter current, IE, all right? Can we write it as VB by RE dash? Simple Ohm's law. Simple Ohm's law. The emitter current, IE, emitter current IE, can I write it as VB by RE dash? Are you all with me? Emitter current, I'm talking about emitter current. Okay, emitter current with applying simple Ohm's law, V by R, VB by RE dash will be the emitter current. All right. Since we know the expression IE is equal to IC plus IB, okay. So we know that the base current is very small, right? Negligible. So if we neglect that, so can I take it as emitter current is equal to collector current? And that ratio, can I write it as VB by RE dash? Let's take that as expression 1. All right. And the collector voltage, VC, can I write it as IC into RC? IC into RC. Simple Ohm's law, right? VC is equal to IC into RC. So in place of IC, I will replace it with IE. All right. From the expression IE is equal to IC plus IB, since base current is very small and negligible, then I can take IC is equal to IE. All right. So VC, I will write it as IE into RC. That will be my equation 2. Okay. Now we know the definition of the voltage gain. What is the voltage gain? It is the ratio of output voltage to input voltage. So output voltage is VC, input voltage is VB. So it is the ratio of VC to VB, right? So substitute there, AV is nothing but your voltage gain. Voltage gain, it is the ratio of VC by VB. Substituting, VC is equal to IERC and VB is equal to IERE dash. So what are you left out with? The voltage gain. This is the standard equation. The voltage gain of the transistor as an amplifier, the voltage gain is given by RC by RE dash. What is your RC? RC is the collector resistor, resistance at the collector, and RE is your internal, that is emitter resistance at the input, emitter resistance. Since RE dash is very small compared to RC, now if you observe this ratio, always the output will be the magnified version. RE will be always small, or in other words, RC is very much greater than RE dash. So the voltage gain is always an amplified version of VB, or the output voltage VC, it is always amplified version of VB. All right. So this is one way of proving that amplification process. Second is current gain. Current gain, we already know it is output current by input current, that is collector current by base current. All right, which is given by, what is this also called as? Current gain is AI is equal to IC by IB. It is also equal to beta, right? It is also equal to beta. So collector current will be always based on the beta value again. Collector current will be always greater than IB, because collector current is equal to beta into IB. Right? So that is your current gain. And finally, the last parameter, the power gain in the BJT as an amplifier. This is one of the parameters. Current power gain, it is product of voltage gain and current gain. Okay, we are running short of time. Otherwise, we would have solved some problems. Any doubt at any point here? Let me know. Or we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next class. Any doubt at any point? Are you all with me? Or have you all left already? We'll have to practice. Yes, yes. Yeah. Go through the PPT. I will share that in Google Classroom. We will continue in the next class. Okay. Let me stop recording.